Did you know that my grandpa was in the Titanic?
What?
He was there, yeah. He warned them that the Titanic was going to sink.
What?
Yeah, he kept warning them, hey, this shit's going to sink. This shit's going to sink. And they kicked him out of the movie theater.
Oh, you
had me invested right there. I was like, what?
I will find you. I will kill you.
Goddamn, he's hot.
He's a good looking dude, man. I have to
Fuck
say
yeah,
myself, right?
Look at that dude. He's
That's a good looking dude.
ripped.
I don't know. With
Dude,
that porn stash he had in Orange is the New Black, man, I don't know.
Look at this sexy
Actually,
Mexican
now,
mama.
Right now.
Zeke, once again, we can't get rid of him. Nope. He's like a nasty virus that keeps coming up over and over. But I appreciate everything that you do, Zeke. Thank you for being here, man. We've talked about it off camera. And we're going to have you a part of, obviously, this because of everything and the time that you put into this. I sincerely appreciate that. Look, you take your time to put into this. I have a huge respect for that. And I make sure that people I have respect for and people that are doing their job, I'm going to take care of them.
Well, I do appreciate it.
Right.
Like this is a good opportunity for, all of us, including myself and
right.
all of us here.
And even me, right? Like, this is a good opportunity for all of us. Rod, my man. Hey, Rod had the camera
sexy
starting.
bitch over here.
I know, look at this guy. Look at this sexy
Actually,
Mexican mama.
Right now that we're filming, right?
Yeah.
Live. We did a Facebook Live. We did everything.
Yeah, we just threw one down, right?
Start really quick, Snap Live. We'll Snap it really quick.
No, I get it.
You were a part of the Gateway for a long time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How long did you work at the Gateway for?
I was almost a year, and then I would have stayed there forever, to be perfectly honest. I probably would, honestly, I'd probably see working there right now had I not met my girlfriend in Arizona and moved to Arizona.
All right.
I like the area. I like working with Hunter and some of the other guys, and so I really did like it. They treated me well. I can't ever say anything bad about it, but it just so happened I had to move.
Did you ever work for Trident, or did you work for?
I worked for Trident. I worked for Trident at the time.
So, right now that we're filming, I got something to give you.
All right.
Here you go. You're on
What?
Trident cap.
Bro,
Brand new.
Dude, as long as I worked there, I never had a Trident cap.
Brand new.
Never once.
That one is a brand new one.
Oh, dude, you can't give this to me.
It's okay. I got plenty of more.
Dude, no, Rod,
okay.
seriously.
We got brand new uniforms and we got bought over the next day. So.
I know, but still, man, that
You're good. Don't worry about it. It's all yours.
that's freaking cool, man.
It's all yours, dude.
That's freaking cool.
It's all yours.
That means a lot to me. I never got one of those when I was working there at the time, and
That one's a brand new one.
dude, that's so nice.
You can see there's no sweat stains, nothing.
Yeah, it smells new.
Yeah.
No, thank Rod,
Yeah,
dude.
it's all
Seriously,
yours, dude.
Thank you, man. That means a lot
All
to
yours.
me. I liked a lot of the people that I worked there with. I really
Me too.
did. And
Trident was a really good company.
yeah, and the only reason I ever left, well, like I said, because I was moving to Arizona, but I was treated very well, and I have
Same.
to say that. So,
Like I said,
that's very cool.
I started wearing handcuffs with that company, so
Yeah, dude. Hey, Rod, that means more to me than you know.
Yep.
It really does. Thank you very much
yep.
for doing that.
No
for
problem.
me.
No problem.
I'll be wearing that in the very near future. Obviously, I'm still sporting my craft cap, which actually I first got from Chris Kyle, who was American Sniper.
nice.
So he's the one that started the craft company back in the day, and unfortunately, rest his soul,
Yeah.
when he was killed way before his time. It was kind of crazy that he did all that stuff that he did overseas in Afghanistan, in Ramadi and a lot of the areas he worked with, and then he comes home and he gets killed. I had the opportunity to meet him in southern Utah. Sat down, talked with him, had a beer with him. Actually, I never told you guys this.
Yeah.
Had a beer with him, but I had a great conversation with
He
him.
seemed like a great guy.
Yeah, dude, he was salt of the earth. He was the greatest guy in the world to me. But anyway, thank you very much. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, no
so
problem.
I'll be wearing that definitely in the near future.
No problem.
Let me. This is going to be a little off topic from a lot of stuff that we talk about, but
I mean, we couldn't have gotten off topic.
I know, right?
Is there even a topic anymore?
Yeah, right? Like
we just kind of flow with what we got rolling.
Yeah.
Like we talked about off screen that we have a lot of ideas that we want to talk about, and we get in here, and then we start talking, and then it just pivots and starts rolling, right? So this particular one, the thing that has really been hitting me. Have you guys seen the Halo series?
I haven't yet,
on
but
Prime?
I've heard mixed feelings about it.
So what have you heard?
I've heard that like as a show on its own. Sorry, I'm getting a little chilly. I'm skinny.
I know it is kind of cold in here.
There's the ghosts in here.
I know, right?
Spooky vibes.
The ghosts.
The overall story of it, like I've heard that it's good, but where I hear where people have issues, it's that classic Halo fan of the franchise. That They're just not hitting those marks. Like,
yeah, so there's the thing, right? Like I started playing Halo way back in the day when it first came out, and it literally kind of revolutionized the whole gaming industry with Xbox, right?
Right, and I agree.
Right, and I loved it, man. Like I loved it. Like it was so fun to play. It was a very immersive thing, and it wasn't just kind of like one of these games you play and then you play and forget. You are always kind of thinking about like, all right, Master Chief, he's fighting the Covenant, right? Like, cool. Well, here's the thing with the TV show for me, okay? People out there may disagree with me big time. Like, I think maybe the first... Are you barking? Was she barking?
Yeah.
You're barking?
What's going on?
My dog never barks. She never barks. She's barking at something. She barking at, is Luis over there?
I think so.
Oh,
No, I can't see.
I don't know, man. She's barking at ghosts, man.
Maybe.
All right, we'll find out.
Might have to get the EMF reader out.
Well, I know. We'll find out Monday.
I mean, I got the EMF reader in the backpack.
I know. We'll find out Monday for sure, though, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so the series I was watching, and like I said, this is. Gosh, we had a different topic set up, but I just got to bring.
No,
this
no,
up.
it's all good.
I got to
Keep
bring
going.
this.
Just keep
I got to
going.
I got to bring this up. So
Keep flowing with it.
So I watched the series, and like for the first couple of episodes, dude, they had me hooked because it was Master Chief, the badass, jacking up the Covenant, right? Mm-hmm. Like, dude, I mean, the guy playing the Master Chief, I feel so bad. Please look up his name real quick so that I can give.
I know he was in Orange is the New Black.
Yes,
I remember his name.
What's his name?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Just search up the
look up
Halo.
Look up Halo.
Paramount Plus.
Halo Cast, Paramount Plus. But he was also in a movie called Den of Thieves with Gerard Butler. Mm-hmm. And dude, he was awesome in that movie.
It was a good movie. I haven't finished it, but it's a good movie.
I watched that movie and I was like,
Pablo Schreiber.
yes, that's him, Pablo. So I watched the movie with
Goddamn, he's hot.
he's a good looking dude, man. I have to
Fuck
say
yeah,
myself, right?
Look at that dude. He's
That's a good looking dude.
ripped.
I don't know with
Dude,
that porn stash he had in Orange is the New Black, man. I don't know.
Well, but there's the
That's
thing.
where, he was the one that was
It's
having sex
this
with the
dude?
inmate. Yeah, that's him.
This motherfucker.
Yeah.
But like I said, he was in Den of Thieves. He's been in a lot of other stuff, but Den of Thieves is where he was with 50 Cent as a bad guy.
Den of Thieves.
Right? He was with 50 Cent as a bad guy, right? But dude, he was he scared me. And I've gone in on houses on bad guys, all throughout Utah. Guys shooting automatic weapons at us, but this dude scared me in the movie. I was like, Pablo, man, that dude's a real fucking deal. Like that he's legit. Like he scared the shit out of me. But anyway, so he is now Master Chief in the Halo world. And he does a fucking phenomenal job. Okay. Does a phenomenal job. And I love him as Master Chief. The issue that I have, and I know, like I said, I'm getting us way off topic, but the issue that I have with this Halo series that they have going on, I really like how they're talking about how Cortana was developed and how Cortana was almost like she's almost like a
Rogue AI almost.
Yeah, kind of, but she was a clone of a lady named Halsey that supposedly had taken. So they've changed some of the canon, right? So Master Chief, his name is John in the movie. He was taken, or in the TV show, he was taken by Halsey and trained from about 6 years old to become a Spartan. Now, here's the interesting thing that I find about the whole canon with that. So I'm a huge fan of Spartans in our past history, right? Spartans to me, with the exception of obviously like I've talked about in our last episode when I'm talking about the tier 1 assets that we have out there, Spartans are possibly the greatest warriors that have ever graced the face of the earth, right? They're raised from birth. From about 6 years old, they go into the Agoge and they're trained. You either become a warrior or you die. Yeah. Right?
And it wasn't a slow death. Or it wasn't a quick death.
It wasn't a quick death, right? Like, I mean, it was...
You got tortured.
It's some serious stuff. Now this gives me a cool little segue. I got to leave a little props to a book. It's called Gates of Fire. Now, I want you guys, if you get the time, I want you to read this book, Gates of Fire. It's by a guy named Stephen Pressfield. Okay? So he goes into the whole Battle of Thermopylae, right? The whole movie, right? 300. You guys seen the movie 300, right? Yep. So Frank Miller, that's based off the comic book by Frank Miller, who also did the Batman stuff we talked about in previous episodes. So phenomenal movie. Loved it. Gerard Butler's in it, right? He's King Leonidas, blah, 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 whatever. But the idea of Spartans, I thought it was very cool within the Halo universe that they're almost mirroring what Spartans did back in the day, right? Where they would take a kid at 6 years old and then start training them to be these ultimate warriors. Now, granted,
that's why they were called Spartans.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because they did that?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So here's a funny thing about Spartans, though. When their society was first existing and first evolving, they were pretty much, for lack of a better term, shit on and beat up on by the rest of Greece. Okay. So the rest of Greece kind of kicked the shit out of them. Well, that one day they kind of looked at each other. Well, not one day. It obviously happened over time. But they looked at each other and it said, we got to do something so that we're not kind of shit on and looked at as lower beings than the rest of Greece. So what they did is they came up with this idea to have a whole society completely. Now there's two sides to it. A whole society completely devoted to war and being soldiers. Now there's another side to it that obviously then they had slaves that did everything else for them. So they had slaves that were blacksmiths and everything else that were looked at as kind of underneath the Spartans, right?
That military hierarchy.
Right. Like they're the best and you guys exist to serve them so that they can go to war. But it still didn't negate the fact that Spartans were some of the toughest warriors to ever grace the face of the earth. Now, if I die, if I have a possibility of being able to see any war in our history,
it's a good topic. That's actually a really good topic.
I know, right? Like I want to see the Battle of Thermopylae. So you basically had the 300 Spartans, but one thing they don't really talk about is there were probably about 2,000 other Greeks that joined them, right? But you had 300 Spartans who were kind of basically the toughest Spartans. The cool thing about the book, Gates of Fire, is that he kind of delves in, and it's not 100% accurate as far as history goes. Dude, see, here's what I'm saying, man. Like we start talking about something. We were going to talk about Halo, and now I'm talking about fucking Spartans. Like, what the shit's wrong with me, right?
I told you. We just need to start with one thing and go.
Right?
I told you. Let's make this episode of whatever.
I know, right? Like, but so I apologize to everybody out there, but I got to get this out because Spartans to me, I am such a huge fan, and I have read about every damn book you can have. As a matter of fact, my book of Gates of Fire, I'll bring it in the next time you guys come in. I'm going to show you. I have stuff underlined. I have pages dog-eared, all this stuff, because it's so interesting to me. But the 300 Spartans sat there. Now, there are some estimates that, you know, the Persian army that was attacking them under King Xerxes was, you know, in excess of 1 million people, right?
Yeah.
But think about this. Even though it's just 300 Spartans, they have 2,000 other Greeks behind them, and they obviously rotated through. But they were able to hold off. Let's say it's just 1 million. Let's say it's 500,000. You have 2,300 Greeks that are able to hold a narrow valley against an army. And like I said, let's say on the conservative side, it's 500,000 Persians that are fighting them.
Yeah.
But they were able to hold them for days on end to keep them from entering Greece.
And keep in mind, this is like mutual combat. Dude,
see, this is the thing. Like that's why I want to see this. If I die and I'm able to see anything, if I could travel back in history, this is the one out of all. I'm a huge military history buff, right?
I don't know. I think I'd rather storm the beaches of Normandy.
Okay, that would be cool too. That would be cool. But think about this. Look at my point of view where I'm talking about. So Spartans had their shields, right? And their shields weren't necessarily to protect them. They were protect their man to their left, right? That's what the shield was for. If you couldn't hold the shield and protect the man to your left, there was no reason for you to be there because it's all about your brother standing next to you. So they also had spears. But then they also had swords, these short swords, and they didn't look like the swords on that movie 300. They didn't look like that. I actually have a couple of replicas at home, and when I retired from our SWAT team, the guys gave me one and they engraved our logo on it for me, and it's one of my most cherished possessions. But it's called a Zithos.
Yeah.
So it's Xiphos, and it's a Zippo sword. But just thinking about that, I look at it and I say, now if you happen to be the Persians and I'm a Spartan, I'm here, I have a spear, I'm jamming that spear and I'm jamming it into your face.
Yeah.
And I'm jamming it into your body. Now, if that thing breaks, I now take out my sword. The Zithos is only about this long, right?
It's like a kukri almost, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, pretty much. But now I'm jamming that into your face and I'm jamming it into your body. Think about
This close too.
yeah. Think about the mentality that takes to be able to do that.
For
right?
days.
For days on end, right? And then they all knew they were going to die. They had, without a doubt, they knew they were going to die. They were just buying time for the rest of Greece, right? So there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. We won't get into it right now, and why they were there and why the rest of the Spartan army couldn't be there.
Yeah.
But then once they were all killed, they went and they stormed Athens. They destroyed Athens. But then the full might of the Spartan army and the rest of the Greeks faced this huge, let's say 500,000 person army from Xerxes in Plataea. And then the Spartans wiped their asses out and sent them on their way.
Yeah.
That's badass, man. Like, that's badass. So I guess that's my point I bring up with the whole Spartans and why they say Spartans within the Halo universe is that I think it's really cool how you draw some comparisons there, even though I kind of went more deep into it than probably is meant to be. But that's why I think them calling Master Chief and the other warriors like him Spartans, I think it's pretty damn cool.
Did you know that my grandpa was in the Titanic?
What?
He was there, yeah. He warned them that the Titanic was going to sink.
What?
Yeah, he kept warning them, hey, this shit's going to sink. This shit's going to sink. And they kicked him out of the movie theater.
You
You had me invested right there. I was like, what?
you
I started doing the math in my head. I was like, no, that's not right.
You had me. You're such a dick, man. You had me.
I was just waiting for it, dude. I was just waiting for
you
it.
freaking hook, line, and sinker. You had me.
You were like, what?
What the hell, bro? Right? All right. Well played. Well played,
course.
sir.
Touche.
Well
Touche.
played. Right?
Touche.
Well played. That was very well played.
I always got to come up with a joke.
I did get a question that just popped in my head, though.
Go.
No, I'm not gay.
So,
Only on weekends.
when you watch movies, right?
Yeah.
What's the best experience or how do I word this right without sounding, I don't know, dumb? An actor doing a role, what performance have you seen that's the best that you've seen that they nailed that mentality of a psychopath? Like
Of a psychopath?
Psychopath, crazy, criminal, like on your hands experience.
In my viewpoint.
You look at it and it gets you goosebumps like, okay, he's scary motherfucker right there. Like,
This is going to sound really weird, but it's John Travolta in Pulp Fiction.
yeah.
That's me. That's just me. Because you look at him, right? And even Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson was a cold-blooded killer, right? And, I will strike down upon you with great vengeance and furious anger, those who attempt to poison and control my brother, right? That whole thing, right? I look at that and I go, yeah, Samuel Jackson's badass, right? Like, he was scary. But you look at John Travolta, he didn't say much, but he'd kill your ass in a heartbeat.
You know...
That's me. That's just me on that one.
You know who I think was a really good actor for the role? The actor who played Bane.
Yeah.
No,
Tom Hardy?
Dude.
Tom Hardy's legit,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, we're about to go up. Like, Tom Hardy is one of my favorite actors of all time. You guys ever seen the TV show Taboo? Okay.
No.
You're looking at me with blank stares. You can find it on Prime Network. Let me tell you something. One of my favorite actors of all time. You've seen Warrior. Have you seen
Warrior?
Right? He's the MMA fighter and everything, right? And then, of course, he's Bane and everything else that people that know more about. The TV show Taboo, watch it. Dude, watch it. Like, seriously.
I'm gonna have to.
He is
I'm gonna have to too.
so real quick, just to give an encapsulation of it. So Tom Hardy is basically, he's a guy that his family had some money in England, and he ended up, his mom, a lot of people thought was crazy, and his mom, you find out, tried to drown him and do some other stuff because they thought she was crazy. But then he ended up going to Africa and living in Africa, and he has a bunch of different tattoos from Africa when he was there. But he also became like, I don't know, almost like a psychopath killer once he went to Africa. So he comes back to England and takes over his father's estate. But then there is something, it was the East Indian Trading Company. I think that's what they called it. The East Indian Trading Company that was they were trying to control the dispersion of tea and everything else, right? From China at the time. Well, Tom Hardy comes in as his character in the movie, in the TV series Taboo. And he's like, yeah, no, this isn't going to happen. My family does this. And then the whole movie is, the whole series is about him conspiring against the East African Trading Company, or the East Indian Trading Company, and everybody else and things he has to do. But let me tell you something. Some of the best, like that, I fell in love with Tom Hardy as an actor with that. Like, I loved him in Warrior and as Bane. I didn't like, we talked about Batman, right? Like, Batman's not one of my favorites. But Bane, I know, I'm sorry. He's not. All right? Batman's not one of my favorites. I'm sorry. I know. Right. Justice. Right?
Justice.
Like, although Christian Bale did great as Batman. Don't get me wrong.
He was
I think he was phenomenal. I liked him as Batman, but I sincerely like Bane in that position and Tom Hardy playing that role. Yeah. But that's kind of the first thing. But then when I watched this series of Taboo, Tom Hardy's my favorite actor, hands down.
Do you know that he actually played Venom?
Oh yeah, no, of course he's Venom, of course. Yeah, and absolutely.
That's why the voice too.
Yeah, and he does the voice. And the coolest thing about those movies, did you know he had an earpiece in his ear? And he would, so when he talks and then he has Venom's voice in the background, it's him talking that he'd already done the voices, but it's in his ear so he can respond to it in that voice.
That's actually pretty smart.
Did you know? That's pretty cool.
It's pretty practical, yeah.
Right? That's cool, right? But, dude, that guy, Tom Hardy, okay, I have to retract my statement. Maybe, okay, the most cold-blooded killer, okay, possibly, like I said, John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. But now that I thought about it, Tom Hardy in the movie Taboo.
Okay.
The guy's a cold-blooded killer. Cold-blooded killer. Dude, I'm telling you, you guys have to watch that and get back to me.
Okay, I got one for you to watch. I got homework for you tonight.
All right.
Have you seen The Lovely Bones?
Yes, I have. That motherfucker's scary.
He played that
dude's
role.
Scary.
Like, I sat there with goosebumps.
That guy's scary.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Okay, so basically for what happened, so you watch Hunger Games, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know Caesar Flickerman? So like the TV host that's hosting the Hunger Games? Okay, him. That's the actor. So he's playing a serial killer. Mm-hmm. And basically it goes through the point of view of this girl named Salmon, like the fish. You know, it's just a reference to the movie. But her name is Salmon, and she gets killed, and she's like 12.
Yep.
And you're going through her point of view of when she got killed, her travel through the afterlife. You're going through the grieving process, her family and shit.
Mm-hmm. Good movie.
Dude.
Good movie.
Like, there's some scenes in there where the guy who's playing the serial killer is like looking right into the camera, and you just sit there and you're like squirming.
You know what? I will agree with that.
Yeah,
that one was kind of spooky. That was one where I looked at it.
It's on Netflix. Go watch it. Like,
I was like, I want to kill this fucking guy.
I just pay for Netflix. I wasn't going to pay it. I was just going to cancel the subscription because fuck Netflix. But sorry, Netflix. But you know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I'll watch it tonight.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a Marky Mark movie.
Dude,
Mark Wahlberg.
He was the father of the girl that gets killed, and you know what? He did a great job in that movie. He did a great job. But what the hell is the bad guy's name in that? Look that up real quick, because I want to give credit to that dude. Because man,
George Harvey is the character, and the actor is Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci, that's it, dude. That guy gave me good. Seriously, you look at that guy, and he probably was the most spooky serial killer dude because looked like a normal dude, right?
Oh, yeah. Now, if we're talking someone who's tried to play a good role, right now, it's called Incredibly Wicked, Extremely Shocking and Vile or something like that. It's Zac Efron playing Ted Bundy.
I've seen that too.
That was the best performance I've seen out of Zac Efron.
Oh no, yeah, without a dude.
Like I know of all the shit that happened with Ted Bundy, and I'm like, damn, I don't want this guy to win. Like, this guy's gonna win.
Dude, he was legit. Scary.
That was another good performance.
Like Zac Efron did great in that show, dude. I remember seeing that. It's funny you say that because he definitely was. I was like, man, I mean, you bring up a lot of good points. Now I'm starting to pivot and go, well, no, maybe it's Zac Efron. No, maybe it's Lovey Bone. But still, I'm sorry. Even though I say all those, just Tom Hardy's and what he brings. Please, God, you guys.
His variety.
Watch Taboo.
I'm going to have to.
Please watch Taboo.
It's on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. And if you don't have it, I'll give you my password so that you guys can watch it because I'm telling you right now, dude, I'll give you my password so you can actually watch it.
I got it.
But dude, I'm telling you, that guy, man, I just love, I got a man crush on Tom Hardy. I'm sorry.
Reasonably so.
I do. Like the dude, the dude's legit.
Okay,
the guy's legit.
I got a question for you.
And he's a jiu-jitsu guy.
He is.
In real life. Do you know that?
Yep.
Dude's bad.
I got a genuine question for you.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Who would you fuck?
We're not going there.
Hold on. We have to. I already got Zeke's response to this.
No. We're not going there live on a fucking show.
Sorry.
No, we're not going. No.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to answer this
I'm not going to answer this on this show.
You have to.
I'm not going to, man.
You're going to have to.
No, don't go there, man. We got to keep this somewhat family friendly.
Where is
I can't go there.
What's his name?
Now, if you rephrase the question to you take on a fancy date,
that's
a different story.
All right, if I take on a fancy date.
Who would you take on a fancy date?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Or Chris Hemsworth.
Hold on.
I do like me some Chrissy Chris. Dude.
That dude's badass.
Hold on.
Did you watch Extraction?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What's the guy's name that plays the Wolverine?
Oh, Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman or Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, man. All right.
Final answer.
Yeah, probably Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Just the dude's sense of humor and everything he does. And we're talking about taking on a date, right?
I understand you. Yeah.
But dude, look, here's the thing. Here's one of the things too with Ryan Reynolds. Man, we are going all over the place on this one, right?
Wait, did you watch the Deadpool movies?
Of course. Here's the thing. And I will bring this in tomorrow. I'll bring in my comics of first appearance of Deadpool.
Oh, please do.
Dude, look, here's the thing. I have been a fan of Deadpool since 93. You guys weren't born yet.
No.
I was born 3 years later.
Right, but you were born 3 years later, but you weren't born then.
Yeah.
Right?
But I'm down to look at those comics. They're from that year?
Oh, absolutely.
Fuck yeah, dude. I've never,
I'm bringing them in tomorrow.
I'm actually, really contemplating buying Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Oh, dude, look, here's the thing, man. When Deadpool came out in the comics, he was actually first as obviously kind of a bad guy, right? Everything you see in the movies is kind of true. He was a part of the Weapon X program because he was dying. He was part of the Weapon X program. He became, seriously disfigured, but he also became insane because of what they did to him, right? That's why he has all the different. Now, here's another thing. You ever played the Deadpool video game?
Yeah.
Right? How cool is that?
That was great, and I think they need to make another one.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I bought it years ago, and honestly, it's so funny you even bring this up, and we bring this up, is that a month ago, I purchased it again. No, I pulled out. I found my old PS4. I found my old PS4 Deadpool. I found my old PS4 Deadpool DVD from the game. And I put it on my new PS5, and I played through again.
Come on. You're a PS5 guy?
Yeah. Well, no, look, man. I'm a PS5 guy only because I wanted to play my Deadpool game.
Okay. You need to get yourself an Xbox.
All right. I'll get one of those too. Okay? I will do it.
And we'll play all of us.
But here's the thing. I'm not a huge online game player.
We'll play GTA. LT's going to be pulling us over.
Nah, look, I'm not a huge online player because I tried. Let me tell you this. I tried playing Call of Duty and stuff online.
No, but you don't.
No, I know. Hold on, real quick. I tried playing that, right? And I'm getting killed by fucking 15-year-olds and kids talking shit, shooting me within 2 seconds. Where in real life I'm going, motherfucker, you don't have a chance. Like
have you seen what I've seen, boy?
I know, right? Like
I'm going.
Yeah, I've done this shit in real life, motherfucker. You ain't fucking doing this shit in real life. Like you're a fucking 12-year-old little douche,
and I will kill you.
Yeah, right. I have a very specific set of skills that I spent a lifetime developing. I will find you. I will kill you. Right? Like no, but seriously,
you're the kid's mommy.
Yeah, that's what I get so pissed about. Right? That's why I like so much.
It's part of the fun. Talking shit is part of the fun.
Yeah, I know,
Dude,
but
watch.
I'm just not that.
One day we were playing a Star Wars game. Me and Z.
I got banned.
He got banned from Xbox Live for like about a week or so, right? Because we were playing.
And you want me to be associated with that on Xbox?
We were playing, right? And then this kid is like, "Ha ha, trash."
No, he called me garbage can.
And then Zeke just...
I'm not going to say it on air. I got banned for a reason.
And then he just goes off on the kid.
Goes off on him.
The kid is like, have fun being blocked or reported or something like that. And I was like, I told you he was going to report you.
See,
I was actually with him that day that he got reported. I was like, I fucking told you.
See, there's the funny things, right? Like, you got 12-year-old kids on there who do nothing else with their life other than play games.
I don't think it'll zoom.
No,
I can zoom. Oh, did
No,
it?
you're good. Let me see. You got banned for a reason, bro.
You went off on that kid.
All right, I'm sorry, but
you went off on that kid.
All right.
He told me, he was like, I told him this and this. I was like, oh,
yeah, you got banned for a reason, bro. Which is the reason why I don't play those games, because I can't play online games because I get way too irritated and way too invested in it, because like I said, I sit there with these Call of Duty games and I'm like, bro, you don't have a chance in real life. Let's do this shit for real.
It's cool. Let me shoot you.
And I'm going to stack your ass up and all your buddies 6 feet deep. Right? Like, come on, man. Like,
note to self, do not go play paintball with LT. They will murder us.
Let me tell you a funny story about that. You bring it up. Like I said, we're pivoting all over the place. So my first wedding, right? My first marriage, my brother took us out, and I'm not a fan of bachelor parties as far as like strippers and all that stuff. I mean, okay, great. Strippers, whatever. You want to do whatever you want. You want to go see strippers, whatever. But it's never been my thing, right? It's just not me. So my brother knows this. So we went out and we did these high-speed go-kart things, and then we went and played paintball. So now it was me and one of my buddies that was on the SWAT team with me, and my brother and 3 other guys. We fucked those boys up. Dude, we were inside the building and I'm clearing corners, my buddy's clearing corners with me, and we lit their asses up all goddamn night. I did not get hit once. Now, there's
God damn it.
Like this is real shit and tactics that I'm using, so I know how to do that shit, right? Like, I'm not the best in the world. There's guys out there that would... What's that?
My buddy, the one I told you about. Mm-hmm. He loves airsoft.
Right.
All right. He knows what I'm talking about. Let's go airsoft. Let's go play airsoft.
Look, man, here's the thing with airsoft too. And even paintball, you get to a point where you got guys that go out there and they game the system. They know the area so much.
Yes.
It's just like, come on, dude. It's like, it's not, look, man, let me tell you something from personal experience. There's a difference between a paintball or an airsoft round firing at you and a real fucking round coming in.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You react totally different. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you right now, the first time I had a round cracked by me, I shit myself and I was like, what the fuck?
I'm done.
Like, no, Brad and I. You guys know Brad.
Yeah.
Brad and I, the first time we got shot at, we were together. We're sitting there. Should I tell the whole story?
Why not? Shit.
Let me take the time on that.
All right,
let's check the time first.
Check it real quick, and I may make it quick.
This is one of those miscellaneous episodes.
I know, right? Like this, man, we have pivoted all over, but I've really thoroughly enjoyed this one, Zeke.
It's pretty good.
We got a couple minutes? All right, let me shoot this one real quick. So we get a call up to a place east. I'm not going to say where it was.
Don't.
A place east over the mountains.
Yeah.
Because there was this guy that had been breaking into see, Allie's over here. Let me look. Allie, she loves me, but she is absolutely in love with this dude over here. She loves Rod. Like, I pull up to pick up Rod
I think
every
it's because he
day.
has a dog face. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Maybe it's my handsome face.
But I pull up to pick up you every day. She gets excited when she sees me, but she knows now when we pull up to get you, she starts freaking the hell out. And I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, she's staring at you.
Look at this.
She's staring at you, and she's looking at me going, like, come on, man. All right, anyway, so please, thank you, Rod. She loves you, dude. So anyway, we pull up to this place, right? So it's a guy that's supposedly breaking into all these cabins up in this area, okay? So Brad and I, brand new on the team, he's driving the van that we use. He's hauling ass up there. I'm hauling ass up in my patrol car. We get up to the area. The guys say, this is where you need to park. They were the deputies in the area. We pull up. Brad gets out, I get out. Brad's standing here, I'm standing here. There's the tire of the van between us. Brad and I are sitting there talking.
We're filming.
Right? We're sitting there talking, and we hear, like, snap, and then we see the hubcap, like, break. And Brad and I looked at each other, and I looked at Brad, and Brad looks at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, the brakes are, like, overheating? Brad looked at me and was like, yeah, the brakes must be just so hot that the plastic hubcap is popping. And so I was like, yeah, it must be. So then we're sitting there for another second, and we hear a snap, pop, and we see the fucking hubcap bust again.
Yeah.
And at about that time, Brad and I both looked at each other, and we went, huh? And looked that way, and then way off in the distance, we see a door of a cabin open, and we're like, the dude's fucking shooting at us. So as soon as it was the most surreal thing ever, because literally Brad and I, we went, the second time it hit, we went, well, that's weird. And I remember looking Brad in the eye, because he's 6'5". I go, and I'm a short dude, and I looked up at Brad with this look on my face of like, what the fuck? And then we both literally just went, huh? And looked over. And then right after that, we looked right at each other, and we, boom, like he shot around the front of the truck. I dove over the hood of my car, and down we went, and we laid and waited. Like, what the shit? Like, they pulled us in right in front of this dude. This guy's shooting at us. Yeah. They dropped us off and told us where to park right in front of this guy. So my point being, right, the first time I was shot at, it's a different story. Yeah. If you have an airsoft round coming in, it's like, oh, it's an airsoft round or it's a paintball. You have a real damn bullet. Yeah, you have a. You hear that? Actually, you hear that? I have a story about that really next quick. To you? No, it's different, man. It's different.
When we were still living in Mexico, you know what's going on in Mexico currently. Oh, yeah. When it first started, my niece liked to go with my dad for rides. Right? She was, I don't know, 6, 7 at the time. There was a highway that went, so you would get out of my house, right? You could take a left, you could take a right, and then whichever way you went, you would take a left or a right. You would go straight, and the highway was right there. So my dad went to a store that was near that highway, right? So they go up on the highway, and they start driving. And then those guys are coming down this way, shooting in the air for no fucking reason. No fucking reason whatsoever. My dad had my niece with him. So what does he do? He drives down, because it's like this, right? Mm-hmm. So he drives down into the bushes as they're coming shooting everywhere for no fucking reason. For no reason. He lays on top of my niece, and he can hear the rounds going like...
Oh, dude, let me tell you something.
You don't even hear the crack of the gunshot.
There's an old saying, right? Like, incoming rounds have the right of way. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing like being shot at, because that was the first time I was shot at. Been shot at multiple times since then. Yeah. Right? But the first time it happens, it is the most surreal experience, right? But after that, things would happen. Brad and I, we'd be there. We'd get, shots cracking off next to you. You react differently. But that's my point with airsoft or paintball. Anybody can stand there anybody can stand there acting cool with a paintball or laying 100 yards away with their airsoft gun shooting. But when you bring real rounds into it, it changes the game. Yeah. Now, I experienced a lot of stuff. I am nowhere close to a lot of cops out there that have experienced even more, or even military guys like your dad or any of the special ops guys. I'm nowhere close to that, right? But I'm telling you, with my experience that I had, it's a different world, bro. Mm-hmm. It's a different world. You react 100% different. And I remember my dad telling me when I first started as a cop, he goes, my dad had been in a lot of shootings. He was, like I said, he worked for Las Vegas PD, and then he worked, maybe I have to do a whole episode on my dad, because he worked for CIA at a couple of different points, and they worked for the Drug Enforcement Administration. He told me, and I remember him specifically telling me, he goes, look, he goes, at some point, you're gonna get in a gunfight. At some point, you're a cop.
Yeah.
You got to prepare yourself. He goes, let me tell you something. It's not like the movies. You don't stand up there and ta-ta. Oh, that guy's shooting. Ta-ta. And you tag them. My dad was like, the first time it happens, you're like, holy shit, down. And you're bop, 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 like, oh, what the hell? And he was 100% correct, because the first time, like I said, I explained that one. I jumped over my car. I pulled my gun out, but I was like, I didn't fire rounds, and neither did Brad, but we were like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Like, there's nothing quite like it. Let me put it that way. There's nothing quite like it to let you know that you're alive and that stuff's going on.
I believe you.
It's kind of crazy. I'll be
perfectly
honest.
Like, it's that adrenaline.
Dude, and you know what? Here's the bad thing. I got addicted to that. I got addicted to that adrenaline. No, not necessarily being shot at, but just the adrenaline. The adrenaline of going into a situation. There's been times
I got it with this job.
You can ask Brad. We told you the story why I'm deaf in my left ear, right? So the scariest thing in my life, right? But at the same time, probably one of my most exciting experiences of my life. I'm deaf in my left ear now, right? Like, so you'll see me do stuff like this because I need to actually hear what you guys are saying. I don't hear anything here, right? And I told you about the story, but we'll save that for something else. But that, it was the scariest shit ever. But at the same time, it was like, when we were done, I was like, well, you guys seen the movie End of Watch?
Yes, but it's been a while.
All right, so it's Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena, right? They're cops in L.A., right? Mm-hmm. They get in this pursuit at the very beginning of the movie. They pit the car, they get out, and they shoot the shit out of them, right? They get in a shooting. And then it was so cool to me how they did that, because you see them, they get done, they're taking care of business, switching mags, closing the distance, doing what they have to do. They look at each other and they're like, are you good? I'm good. And then they holster up, and then they kind of cut a couple of times, and then you see them slap five and hug each other. That's not a slap five and hug each other because you killed somebody. It's a slap five and hug because we're still alive. We did this, and we're still here.
Really quick before we finish.
I know. Sorry, my bad.
Watch the show. I think it's on Hulu. Me, from my perspective, as a security guard, I watched the show because it's about cops. I watched the show. It's just a show on Hulu. And I think it's kind of stupid. Like, I got into it because I liked it. I liked what the show was about. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you haven't. Watch The Rookie.
Oh, it's a good movie.
No, it's a show.
Is it?
It's a show.
But there was an old movie back in the day with Clint Eastwood. Called The Rookie.
Yeah.
But you're talking, there's an actual series or a show called The Rookie.
It's a series called The Rookie.
Okay.
Watch it on Hulu.
Okay.
Whenever you can.
I'll watch it tonight.
Send me a text message after you watch the first episode and tell me what you think.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell me what you think about it.
Get us out of here, man. I took us in so many different directions. I started with Halo, and then I went here and I went there, and then I told stupid war stories that nobody wants to hear about. So
not
I apologize.
Really. I mean, they're pretty interesting.
I don't know. I apologize.
There are people out there who
a miscellaneous episode.
I know.
There are people out there who may want to know a little bit more about you, and
maybe
we'll start giving out social media soon.
Yeah, I can do that.
Our social media.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, you can follow us on PSS After Hours on Facebook, Instagram, and Reddit. Please send us your messages with stories or anecdotes that you guys have, that you have seen or heard stuff. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's, tell us your favorite comic, your favorite TV show, whatever you're watching right now.
Yeah, if you want us to pivot to something else, we'll do it.
We'll watch it. Pretty sure we're going to start rolling on with the episodes, so stay put with that. Zeke, thanks for being here again.
Yeah,
we
thanks.
appreciate you having here and your weird stories.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a lot up there. It's a lot.
Yeah, with your weird redneck hat today.
all right.
LT, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, Rod.
Where can they send us mail to?
Yeah, so please send us your emails if you got any stories or any ideas that you just want us to talk about. You've seen that obviously we're pivoting through a lot of different stuff. Our main focus is obviously the paranormal, but hey, we just kind of let things happen organically, and then we start talking like this whole Halo thing. That was not the focus of today. We were going to talk about something else, and I got stuck on that. But anyway, find us at paranormalafterhours@gmail.com. Send us your messages. Let us know how we can contact you. We're good to go. Once again, this is LTG signing off for Rod, signing off for Zeke, who is here once again, and we appreciate you being here, my brother.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody out there, remember one thing. We've proved it. Things are going to get a little weird.